Greetings, beautiful people on our beautiful day. It's a beautiful day here in Pietermaritzburg, and the name of this show is Unstoppable, and it's brought to you by the Empowerment Podcast and Women in Business. What is Empowerment Podcast? Empowerment Podcast aims to empower, inspire, and equip. So just get ready and relax. You're gonna be empowered, you're gonna be equipped, and you're gonna be inspired. And with me today, I've got Shan Cade. So I don't want to spoil anything. I want Shan to introduce herself so that we really know who she is. But all I can say about her is that she's an amazing support system to women in business. If I feel stressed as the CEO, I just call Shan, like I'm not coping. And then she always has the right steps to help with and right solutions on what one can do. So just get ready to hear the content from a person that has walked the walk and who talks the talk. Welcome to the show, Shan.
Oh, thank you. And thank you very much for this opportunity. It's lovely to be here. I think I should probably just start with a bit of a background of where I come from, and then you'll understand more why I am the person I am.
Okay.
I come from a family of very caring and dedicated people to people. That's my foundation. My father was a pastor.
Oh.
Yeah, umfundisi, I think you say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was a pastor, and my mum actually was the most amazing personal assistant and bookkeeper. She was a qualified bookkeeper, but she was very highly organized. So all our growing up life, we had this thought process of being organized. We had a very wonderful opportunity as children to be able to express our opinions and not be shouted down. So we would express our opinion on a topic or a thought that we had or whatever, and my dad would in the end wrap it up and say, okay, but you haven't thought about this. This would be the better option. So we became very good critical thinkers at the same time as thinking about the people around about us. Our home was full of people. My dad would bring in somebody who was poor and look after them until they got back on their feet. And so our home was full of people coming and going all the time, which was absolutely fabulous. There's no better way to learn about people than that. So it was marvelous. And so we grew up with this compassionate and caring and empathetic type personalities.
Yes.
For me, I took very much after my mum with the organizational skills. And throughout my life, right from about 7, 8 years old, I made checklists. I did checklists for everything. For school, even when I was that small. As I got into senior school, I developed a stronger method of using checklists as a control tool. When I got into the workplace, that developed further, and later on I wrote a book called The CLIP System, and that is an administrative system for simplicity and effectiveness, the combination. Actually, the reason why I wrote that book, you might want to know, is that when we changed governments, and service levels dropped. So in my heart I was saying, how can I help these people to at least give a measure of service while they're learning? And that's why I wrote the little book. I originally called it Checklists for the New South Africa. And then the publishers changed it to Checklists for productivity and profitability. So that's why it became the CLIP system. But in writing that book, I was introduced to the Chamber of Commerce in Pietermaritzburg, and I became teaching around that book, the thought process. It's all about the thinking.
Yes.
Life is about the thinking. That's if I can give you any advice, that's it. Life is about the thinking. So what I did was I workshopped around that book in helping businesses, small, big, didn't matter, to get their systems in place. And just think we're going right back now to the early 2000s. And then that book developed into what we have currently. Our biggest seller is a Sustainable Business Thinking Program.
Okay.
So the Sustainable Business Thinking Program is all about introducing people who don't understand how a business operates to be able to understand it and also know where they bring their value to that business. So that has become very popular at various levels. Very low entry level, like at farm worker level where most people are not literate, right up to corporate. It doesn't really matter. The thought process is the same. And so that little book developed into that program, and then sustainable business thinking developed into a holistic view of everything, not only in business but in life.
Yeah.
So when you won their trust and they start asking you questions, okay, we can apply that same thinking to HIV.
Exactly.
Or we can apply that same thinking to budgeting.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yes.
It is all the same thinking. It's about options. What options do I have? Our slogan for our students is you win or lose by the way you choose.
Sure.
So decide right. That's the slogan.
Sure.
So if you are thinking about things, you've always got options. Okay, it's never just a one thing. You always have options. So that developed the Sustainable Business Thinking program, developed into this holistic tool of working with people within their job space and showing them ways to do it better or faster or neater or more accurate, or also just helping them to coordinate their jobs. A lot of people know what their job is, but they actually don't know how to coordinate it at the end of the day because nobody's ever showed them how to do that.
Most definitely.
That's a sad part.
You know, Shan, you actually challenging me as a mom, in all different areas when you said your mom was so organized that you learned that from her.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to moms? Because most of the entrepreneurs, people in corporate are also moms. What's your best advice?
My best advice for you is to be involved. To be involved with your child and enjoy every second. It doesn't matter the age. I know they say the terrible threes and the horrible teens and all of these things, but actually I was very fortunate with my two children. I never had that problem. But I think it was because we were open to their ideas and we were open to their opinions and we spoke about them. Communication is the big thing, of course. And we spoke about it. But the input that we tried not to miss their events at school. We tried not to do any of those things that you find modern day parents doing, not because they want to, but because of the lifestyle that we have to live to keep up.
Exactly.
So I would say just put the time in. Put the time in, communicate well, and you know what? They come up with amazing things. They really, really do. One tip I can give you for children is that if you want to develop their thinking and they've got a problem and they come to you and say, Mom, I've got this problem, before you even hear the problem, you say, go away and think about it and tell me how you think you can fix it. And you can start doing that at 4 years old.
Sure. And I've got a 4-year-old at home.
So that's what we used to do with our kids. We'd say, go and think about it, then let's talk about it. Then they would come back and they'd think this. Then you can guide their thinking and develop into becoming a good critical thinker because you've given them options to work with.
Okay, let me give our viewers just a tip, just some extra information. Shan is a mother to Sherry, the one that I interviewed in another interview. You'll probably go look up and find the interview with Sherry. So now you'll understand why she's such a critical thinker, because she has a mother like this, a true powerhouse. You've started something. I've been following you on social media. I'm a fan. I'm number one fan on your Facebook page because you're doing a lot of things. You're even teaching us on how to, I think you're even doing financial management on how people lot of things. So always, even Facebook knows that it gives me a summary of what you've posted and I go through it because it's such in order and it's amazing. You've also got a Team Connect, a WhatsApp group where you're sharing things. I know a few days ago you shared about groceries.
Yes, it was cool, eh?
It was so cool. I actually posted it on my status and people were like, wow, this is so amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I'm like, it's from Shan, So where do you get the content? What gives you the passion to share such things with people?
Okay, the passion is easy. It's people.
Oh,
I love
people.
So people are good for me. The thing was, after every training session that we did, whether it was one person or 10 people or 50 people, I would get them to, if they wanted to agree, to join their specific group. Okay, so say I was working with the PCB, we would have a PCB group.
Okay.
And then I would post things, just a little quote to them that I thought would help them, having just worked with them. Okay, so I've been doing training with them. They've got to a level, but I thought, oh well, I'll grow that for them. So I kept on every Monday morning. I would sit down, and it would take me not too long in the early days when I only had a few groups. It would take me an hour or so, and I would send these different groups my thought for them, group specific.
Oh, all right.
Then after years, it got too much, and I was beginning to spend a whole morning having to do the groups. So I thought to myself, what I actually need is a very nice platform, and WhatsApp is the perfect platform, to send a general thing that's on my heart. So everything that you're getting every day is actually on my heart, from maybe somebody I've spoken to, or somebody I'm working with, or a problem that I've noticed in the shopping center, or wherever. That's where my inspiration comes from. And I think, oh, that would be good for Team Connect. Now, the purpose of Team Connect is two-way. Number one is for us to communicate with you and keep connected to you once we have worked with you normally. Okay. Number two, it's supposed to be for managers or supervisors or even executives to have something that they can feed their staff for thought. And also promote like a short toolbox talk, a 10-minute talk or whatever. So it's for the growth of the team. That's why it's called Team Connect.
Team Connect.
So that's where it comes from. Now it takes me, I do my posts every day, they're fresh every day. I do my post, and then it's going out. Now we have 120 members now, which is quite cool. And it's even an international group now as well, which is also quite cool. So it came from this desire to help people to continue to grow, basically. That's where it comes from.
So it's your desire, but you're still keeping it original, because I see sometimes you make examples of things in your house, and you make it so practical, and it's so authentic. I'm so inspired by it. Thank you so much for sharing it with the women in business.
Welcome. Can I just tell you something with regards to pitching to people? I started the Sustainable Business Thinking Program when I was at the sawmills one day. So the sawmills, if you understand the work group of the sawmills, is most of them are from the rural areas, and they probably 90% of them are not literate, which is very sad. So in working with them on sustainable business thinking, I had to pitch at a level that was okay for people that are not literate. Okay, so a PowerPoint does not really do the trick for people that are illiterate. So unless you're using a mass of photos or diagrams or something. So I was pitching to the sawmills. They've been my customer for 9 years or more now. And all of a sudden, a few years back, the farmers in the area around the sawmill, they obviously all talk to each other, and they came and they said, we want the same program that you're doing at the sawmills for our workers. So I thought, oh yay, I love that. You see, being on the farm, I love the outdoors. I said, I love that. So I start my first one. The first session, I came home crying. I thought, oh my word, I've messed up so badly here. I taught it the same pitch as I did to the sawmills, but they were still at a lower level. Some of those people on the farm had never even been to town. Okay. So now understand the perception of now trying to understand how a business operates, and first trying to understand that a farm is a business. You understand? So I came home and I really was very tearful about it. I thought, sure, I've got to do something about this. Anyway, the solution to that is practicalities. Be practical.
As practical
so
as you
everything that we did, this is growing the seed. This is how you do it. And this is what benefit it is to the business. Okay, the impact it has on the business. So that's where your mind needs to go, just about pitching. Because if you're selling to somebody, you need to worry about your pitch as well. Because not everybody's at the same level. They might look pretty or professional and stuff. But you do not know the way they think. So it's very important to be able to pitch to the right level.
Wow. Pitch to the right level. Shan, you've been the longest standing member of Women in Business. What would you say to recommend someone to join Women in Business?
You know, I think Women in Business is a platform of support. And for me, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
If you can go on there and say, does anybody know a good trainer for this? Or does anybody know that? And we can share somebody that is going to be of value to the person.
Yes.
Not just the business that we know. Somebody that's going to bring value to that organization or value to that person's life. For me, that's the biggest thing. So Women in Business for me has been one of information and one of support. And I think you can never put a value to that.
Exactly.
It is totally invaluable.
Definitely.
And I mean, the remarkable things is you see such a different side of people. You actually see their capabilities a lot of the time.
Definitely.
That you wouldn't just see in a normal networking session.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not really a networking group. For me, it is a support group, a support and information group. We're getting info that's valuable and we're getting support that is usable.
That is deep. I'll actually have that as a reel on social media. So where do you see your business 5 years from now? Online. But
it'll never stop in person for me.
So in person is still important.
For Cherie, online is the big thing for
Yeah.
her. She's an introvert and not really a people person. But so online is good for her, but I can't do all online. I need to be able to see the growth in my people. I need to see their body language. I need to really be able to spend time and understand how they're thinking and why they're thinking like that, so that I can help them to grow.
Definitely.
If you don't understand all those things, you can't grow. But I'm also getting older. I'm 68 now. I'm going to be 69 in a few months.
Oh.
And I need to also think about a passive income. So for me, online is going for a passive income. It's not going because it's my heart's desire. My heart's desire is to be able to be the go-go to everybody for as long as I can be.
Wow, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. Yo, you are so like everything you're saying, it's teaching, it's like a lecture, you're teaching us something.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So where can people find you? Can you please share your social media platforms? I know I did say it, that I follow you on Facebook and your website, everything relating to your business. If people wanna know about Shan Cade training and consulting, where do they find you?
Okay, well, I'm quite open to WhatsApps. So you can WhatsApp me on 078 801 0896. I won't get back to you maybe immediately, but I will definitely get back to you. Otherwise, we've got a website, www.shancade.com. And we're on Facebook, Shan Cade Training and Consulting. We're on Instagram, Shan Cade Training and Consulting. I'm on LinkedIn as Shan Cade. And that's about it, I think.
You're not on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
Oh, okay, cool. What does unstoppable mean to you?
Unstoppable means having a resilient personality.
And being resilient means?
Never giving up.
Yeah.
And going for what you need to go for. That's unstoppable.
Wow.
Unstoppable is turning every stone that you possibly can. Using up every option that you have to get to where you want to be. In a nice way.
Yes, definitely.
I'm not going to kill somebody else's career to build my own. That's not the way. And you don't have to do that.
Definitely. And our theme for Women in Business this year is polish until you shine and shine until you sparkle. What does that mean to you?
Well, I actually have that stuck on the side of my computer at home or in the office. And for me, that means being the best that you possibly can be to make a positive impact in everybody's life that you meet.
And you are making a positive impact to everybody's life that you meet.
That's appreciated.
Because every time I meet with you, every time I call you, every time I chat, every time I read what you write on your social media, on Team Connect, on your Facebook, wherever I find Shan Cade, there's a positive impact.
Great.
And even your students from the GEAP are also saying Shan is amazing. And it's so nice when you get to tell people in times like this that you are really so amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. We're looking up to you. You are adding value.
Good.
And we're thankful that we know you.
Oh, It's my pleasure to be around. The Jeep program is an amazing program, and those people are so precious, and they've grown so much. We're like a family now. That's lovely.
Also, what do you do in the Jeep program?
I manage the Jeep program.
Okay.
The Jeep stands for Global Export Accelerator Program.
Okay.
So it's funded by GIZ. Well, it's actually funded by the German government, the economics department, but implemented worldwide by GIZ.
Okay.
And then locally managed by SASDC. So that program is preparing 40 businesses to go into the international marketplace and having them ready for exports.
Okay.
So my career, I have over 44 years in freight forwarding, which is exports and imports.
Okay.
That was my career. So, and with my management skills and my organizational skills and my coordination skills, they thought it would be useful to have me. So that's how I ended up being with the Jeep program.
Oh, that's lovely. Can people still apply? When is the next application for the
Actually,
Jeep
this
program?
program is about to come to an end. The end of June is the final month for the Jeep program.
Okay.
But there is another program coming on, almost the same, but at this stage of the game, we haven't the final details.
Okay.
It's going to be at 3 levels. So you'd have an entry level, level where they're almost ready but not ready, and then ones that are ready to go into the national marketplace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's very exciting. We just don't have the final details.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, we'll keep following you on social media and following the chamber so that we can get more information about what's coming up. Any closing remarks as we closing our interview?
Okay, I think as a business owner or even as a person, the priority in life is to have a caring heart. If you have a caring heart and you are proud of yourself, it's one time you can be proud, is to be proud of who you are, okay, and confident in who you are, and that caring heart flows over into other people. And so if we can have a community, if we can have our family in a caring space, that's already a start. If we can branch that out and have the community in a caring space, better still. If we can go nationally or regionally in a caring space, we are going a big way to a more harmonized society. And I can't take, I'm not a person for violence or ugliness in any way whatsoever. So for me, I struggle when I see somebody's died and it was unnecessary to die. So having a caring heart for me makes the difference. Okay, and if you take care of people with a caring heart, you can see change happen.
Sure.
And if you know Richard Branson, Virgin, he always says that the most important thing in the world, in your business, is your staff. If your staff take care of themselves and you take care of them and they are happy, they are going to give the service to your clients, so you're automatically going to have happy clients.
Wow.
So in that basic principle of his is how I felt more or less my whole life. If you can care for somebody, you will make a difference.
Sure.
But just beware. You cannot care if your heart's not right.
Sure. Thank you so much. Caring heart.
And why do I say that? Because you can see everything in the eyes. So I can say I'm a caring heart. But if it's not shown in my heart, as my eyes, it's not going to move a soul.
Wow. Let us go on and be unstoppable. This is Nompila, bringing you the best content from the women in business members themselves, and they share their secrets on how their business are thriving. And I think that's why Shan Cade has a thriving business, because she's had that caring heart and she wants to empower people. She wants to see people's lives change. She's also an author. I didn't know that much. So congratulations on all that you have done. We're proud of you as a woman in business member. Keep shining, and thanks so much for this time with you.
I will do it. Thank you, more importantly.
Okay.
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Take care. Have a caring heart. Bye.